Hello, Sean with Tri-State Waterworks here. We offer a service called a cycle and inspect. So this is something similar to a spring startup, but this is something we do in the summertime when your system's already running. Now, who is this good for? This is specifically good for commercial properties and HOAs where nobody's actually evaluating or looking at the system on a regular basis. But it can also be good for your home as well. If your system runs in the middle of the night and you don't get up and you don't have the time to run through it to make sure everything is working properly, we would recommend you hire us for a cycle and inspect. So here's how you perform a cycle and inspect. We really should call it a cycle, inspect, and adjust, a CIA. So we turn on a zone, we walk through that zone, we adjust the sprinklers to make sure they're covering the area that's intended to be watered. So if you got a sprinkler head that a zero-turn mower got on top of and made a turn, and now the sprinkler head is shooting water out into the street, we bring that back onto the lawn area. We look for leaks in the lateral line. We look for leaks around the sprinkler heads and make sure the sprinkler heads are rotating, popping up, and going back down. So we go through each zone doing that to make sure it's working properly. The other thing we look at is just the condition of the turf and the landscape. Is it getting enough water, or do you have wet spots? If we find those issues, we may increase some run times, or we might decrease run times if the area is too wet. We would check your rain sensor to make sure it's working properly as well. So how often should you do a cycle and inspect? We recommend doing it at least once in midsummer. So if we start you up in, say, April or May, July would be a good time to do that cycle inspect before we come back out to winterize it. Some properties will do 2 or 3 of them, so we would do one in July, August, and September. It's a good way to make sure things are watering properly, you're not wasting water, and that all of your system is functioning properly.